Hi, everyone. This is Margaret Manning with 60 and Me. This is the place where women over 60 come to be inspired. My guest today is a fascinating woman, Bonnie Moore. Bonnie is a retired management consultant and also an attorney, and she's the founder of Golden Girls Network, which is a matchmaking service really for women to find people to live together. Hi, Bonnie.
Hi, Margaret. How are you?
I am great. I'm just so happy that you're here with us. As you know, we have a community of women over 60, and you're offering a service that I think is very interesting to them.
Thank you.
Thank you. So I have a question for you, though, about this whole phenomenon of living together, women living together. I was just thinking back when I was in college and in my early years, and I actually lived with a group of women. I mean, that was kind of how we did it. And there was this whole communal, remember the hippie commune? Yes. Philosophy. Do you think that that's one of the reasons that boomer women today are accepting what the Golden Girls Network is offering?
I think that's one factor. One of my little secrets is that I went to San Francisco and I lived in communes in the early 70s.
I would have never known, Bonnie.
I'm an old
You're
hippie myself. Yes.
Me too.
We've all done it. And I think that because we have had those experiences,
yes,
it's easier to accept where people older than us never lived in a shared housing situation. And so
yes,
it's very strange to them. But those of us who are 70 and younger, we've already tried it. And we know that there are many values coming
yes,
from living together.
Well, it's really interesting when you stop to think about it. What motivated women, young women those days is actually the same.
Yes.
Like it's financial. It's just to have girlfriends to hang out with, people to, to borrow the clothes and I guess just having that sense of network and shared values. Do you think that that's the case? Just that shared values?
Shared values, having someone to talk to when you come home at night. I mean, that's one of the most important things to me is I'm not coming home to an empty house. If I have something going on and I just need someone to talk to, I'll find one of the roommates and say, let me tell you what happened to me today.
I've got to tell someone this. I have to share it with someone. No, I think that's really interesting. And I guess then through our lives, we did things that kind of took us away from that kind of living lifestyle. We perhaps got married or got involved in, our work or causes and didn't maybe think we needed people as much. And
you also have the factor that many of us got married and had children. We had a house full of people all the time, and suddenly the kids have grown up and they're gone and they're doing their own lives. And what happens to mom?
No, that's such a really good point. It's that we never, and when I say these things, I'm generalizing because a lot of women didn't get married and a lot of women lived a single life. And probably people listening to this will think, well, I'm happy just living by myself. Thank you very much, But there's, I think, a large number, like you've just said, who have had a full house with kids and, just relationships, family. And, that now that it's ended, we have a gap. There's this. Yes. Do you think a lot of the women that I suppose you don't know them all, but from your experience, have a loneliness issue or a social isolation, and they're just on the edge of depression?
Yes. I think that it would be natural for a woman to start being depressed after she's had a very busy life and things have slowed down quite a bit, and you're suddenly alone. And you're used to that. You're used to nurturing and taking care of people and doing things like that. And when you don't have that nurturing factor, you feel lost. I had two of my grandchildren come visit this summer, and so I got to play mother for a week. And it's like, oh yes, I used to do that.
And it feels good. It feels. I think it's all back to that thing of if you look at what contributes to a long life, they always say that it's of course the exercise and nutrition and all those things, but it's actually social connection. That social connection is really what keeps you healthy. Do you agree?
Yes, and in fact, I think we have some recent statistics where a university came out saying that social isolation is a factor in early death.
Yeah. No, it doesn't surprise me because, and in fact, you see this a lot in marriages where, a woman has built her whole life around a husband who dies perhaps young and they just don't have the tools. Do you have a lot of women coming to you who have lost husbands? And is that a common next step for people?
It's not so much widows as divorced people, divorced women.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And there is a crisis. There is there's a huge thing in middle-aged divorce now where it didn't used to be.
Mm-hmm. And I think that actually is going to keep getting more intense as, the dynamic changes and women get to be 65 and they think, gosh, it's not like I've got 2 more years. I've got 30 more years of my life perhaps to live, and I'm not happy, or my children have left. So you think that the divorcees are the ones that are coming to join more frequently? Yeah.
I think that the majority of the women who join Golden Girls Network are women who find themselves divorced. Maybe they weren't quite planning on it. And certainly divorce is expensive. You end up not having, the funds that you were expecting for retirement. I think the recession that we had a few years ago, was devastating to many people my age.
Yes, I think so.
And we don't have the ability to recover from that.
Well, and I think that's one of the things we try to do with 60andMe, for example, is we try to help people to understand that when you're in that situation, there is, you can reinvent yourself and you can find part-time work. There's freelance opportunities, but a lot of women don't have the support. So do you find, that's a question I was going to ask you. Do you find women joining, Golden Girls and starting businesses together, or, finding like-minded, interests that give them a next step in life, in terms of work?
There's the possibility there. I mean, we're still very young. We're trying to build a network. We had our first Golden Girls picnic this summer.
Oh, that's great. Whereabouts in your area? Yeah.
It was here at my house. Yes, I have a big deck. We had a picnic.
That sounds great.
But I invited all the Golden Girls in Maryland, and we had a nice crowd. And in fact, there was one woman who's a homeowner looking for roommates, and there was another woman who was trying to decide what to do. And she interviewed with her, and I don't know what happened, but it did make that connection.
That is really cool. I think you mentioned to me that you've got about 1,000 people in your community right now. So that's actually pretty good, considering you're less than a year old.
Just a year old, yes.
Yeah, no, that's actually quite amazing. And your website, by the way, I'll put it in the article, but it's goldengirlsnetwork.com.
Yes.
And you've got a special offer right now of free, sign up. So if you want, so anyone's listening and just wants to check this out, it's a site where you can basically, it's a match.com. You can just go and check out who's looking for a roommate and roommates that are looking for a home. Yeah, no, it's a really brilliant idea. So I guess what I'm hearing is that most women are interested in friendship, financial security, kind of emotional security. What do you think? Do people feel strange about living with women? Do you think that's kind of an odd situation? I mean, I know we've become much more accepting now, I think, of women living together, men living together. Has that helped your enrollments and interest?
I have had some older women say to me, "Oh no, I wouldn't live with a woman. I don't want people to think I'm a lesbian." Yeah. But that, I think, is a dated attitude. I think younger people, we're much more accepting of people, and we're getting to the point now where who cares? Who cares
what they think? I know.
I've got 5 women living in my house. Certainly, we're not a group of lesbians. I mean, or if somebody thinks so, I don't care. That's their problem, not mine.
I think that is the beauty of being 60 plus, isn't it? I mean, you really do get to the point where you still want to play the game. You still want to be accepted by society and, be considered equally for work and other things. But in your heart of hearts, other people's opinion really doesn't matter.
You get to the point where I don't care. It's like the women who wear the red hats. They walk around with their red and purple, and I love it, because who cares?
Well, I think you've done a great job of getting started with this. And I think helping me to understand the kinds of women that are interested, I think makes it really a great message for our community. If you're interested, please check out Bonnie's site. And, Bonnie, I really appreciate you taking the time to explain this to us. Is there anything else you want to add? I mean, in terms of a shout out to the community, to encourage them, or?
It's, many women are hesitant. They're afraid. They're concerned about living with a stranger. And what I always say, the person's only a stranger the first day. You get to know them. You make your best decision. You go for it. If it doesn't work out, you move on. And if it does work out, you've got a great situation.
I think that we have to be a bit more risk taking, don't we? And as you say, we're really good communicators, women, and we have good instincts. Mm-hmm. And I think that sounds like it's an important element of this process of choosing a roommate.
Absolutely.
Well, look, we're going to talk in another video about the specifics of how to find a roommate, questions to ask, and so on. But let's just give people something to think about. And I think it's fantastic what you're doing. So thank you so much for taking the time, Bonnie.
Oh, it's been a pleasure. Thanks
again.